Hey Ron, with the year coming to the end, VSPO has decided to make the last day of the year a banger by doing a bunch of events. I only started following VSPO in March of 2024, so it hasn't even been like a full year, but I believe they also did this or something similar to this last year as well. Maybe this is like a yearly event, but don't quote me on this. There are a lot of events and stuff going on, and the main course being the 3 talk show events, as well as the New Year's Eve countdown party. So alongside these events, he also got the goods shop, as well as a bunch of the VSPO flag banners all around Akihabara. There's also VSPO advertisement truck, as well as a special one-day collab with a ramen shop. I arrived fairly early in the morning, and first task for the day was actually to pick up some of the goods from their official goods shop that they have set up. And this is just like a special goods collection for the New Year's event party. I got the queue tickets a few weeks prior, so I was able to quickly snag up the goods as it came to my time slot. I'm not a big fan of the Japanese style outfits, so I didn't really get much except for the Lisa goods, which is my main oshi in VSPO. For the talk show and countdown events, they're doing it in 2 buildings, so we got the UDX building as well as the main hub, which is the Bell Salle Akihabara building. And you can watch the live stream of the talk show online, but I believe you need to pay to be able to view it. But as for the countdown event, it should be free on their YouTube channel. I was able to snag tickets for all these events, and they only costed 1,500 yen each, and there are 3 in total, which is not a lot. And there's also the countdown ticket, but it's actually free. You just need to apply for it beforehand. The talk show event wasn't anything too special, just small talks and the talents play games together. And they have like different groupings for the talents. So I guess if you want to see certain pairs interact with each other, this may be something that might interest you. Personally, being there in person, I wouldn't like sweat too much if you couldn't get a ticket for it. The talk show and games were fun, but I feel like the event execution was a little bit off. To put it simply, we paid to basically just sit there and watch the pre-recorded program together with other fans. There's nothing wrong with it, but I feel like if you're doing these kind of events, I think it would make most sense if you just do it live, right? Since you could have like live interaction with the fans as well as like it just being more immersive. But maybe it's like a technological thing that they are not able to do this. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. And like always, these kind of events you usually can't do any filming or photography, so yeah, I can't show anything. So just to give an idea of like what kind of games they're playing, so for the first part they have 2 games. One is like fill in the blanks, I think it's like a news report, and the 5 members will have to come together to finish the paragraph. It's like a long paragraph with like 5 blanks or something. And then the gist of the report ended up being like they're doing research on a new kind of food. And it's like by eating ramuchi you would like live 5 years longer. That's like one of the things that they came up with. There's also one they're reporting like the new species in the zoo, which the species end up being a hamburg. In the second part they had like a section where they're like voting for some of the people in VSPO. So one of them was like who's the most tsundere in VSPO. And I think of the 5 members, the majority of the vote got Mimitaya. Another one was like who's the most considerate and caring. And surprisingly, it ended up being Uruha. I thought it was going to be like Benny or something. So in the third part, they played a pretty interesting game called the Mochiron game, which is basically like of course game. So it's 1v1. I think there are 4 people and then it's 1v1. So whoever they go against, they have to ask a question or make a statement, and then the person has to say Mochiron. It may sound really stupid, but it's actually pretty funny if the talent can come up with like a very interesting statement. So QP absolutely stomped Tsuna with I think her statement was like, oh, your name is Nekota Tsuna, but you're a dog, right? And because of the game, if Tsuna doesn't say Mochiron, then she loses, right? So she hesitated and then kind of like unreluctantly say Mochiron, but because of that she hesitated and she didn't come out with the Mochiron instantly, so she lost the game there. Another question that was interesting was Benny versus Hinano, which Hinano asked Benny, can you say the full name of the 2 new kohais? I think because Benny didn't want to embarrass herself, she instantly said the 2 kohais name. But the thing with the game is you have to say Mochiron after the statement. which she didn't. She named the 2 kohai, so she lost it. Like, just looking at it on paper, the game doesn't look anything interesting, but them actually doing it is actually pretty interesting. They also did a management talk, and one of the things that they mentioned was like there's no plan for new members in 2025, but their recruitment process is not based on like years. Instead, if they see interesting talent and someone they think would fit in VSPO, they would recruit them. So it's not like, oh, we'll put out 3 members this year, we'll put out 2 next year. It's like, if they come by and if they fit the criteria, they will recruit them. But yeah, that's like the gist of the talk section. So because I have the 3 events as well as the countdown to go to, I was pretty much in Akihabara the whole day. And during the downtime between events, I also attempted to look for the flags throughout Akihabara. There's no prize for finding everyone, but I think it's just like a little fun challenge to attempt and to just kill time. I was able to find everyone but 2, but it was just like, at the end of the day I was just too exhausted, so I looked it up online, and the last 2 members were actually pretty far from the main areas, so I don't think I would have ever managed to find it without looking it up. There's also the ramen store that's actually really crowded in the beginning, maybe like 5 hours of the operation. So it's just like, looking at it, it's probably like a 1 hour, 2 hour line. But because I didn't really have the time to line up, due to the many talk shows that I have lined up for the day, I just prayed and hoped that they have like stock remaining until like when everything calms down. Instead of grabbing the ramen for lunch, I grabbed some tsukemen, and yeah, I highly recommend this place. It's actually really good. Luckily for me, I actually managed to grab a bowl of the ramen after like the final talk show of the day when I saw there was no line. It was a lot oily than I thought, but it's actually pretty good. The seaweed had like prints of the VSPO members with their ramen art, as well as one of them being the VSPO logo. And about after 20 minutes after I left, I think this would be like maybe 7 PM, all the bowls were sold out, and yeah, they were done for the day, so I was lucky to be able to get a bowl myself. So the entry for the countdown event starts at 10:30, but the event itself starts at 11:30, and I think it ends at like 12:15 or something. After finishing my ramen, I actually went home just for a couple of hours because there was like 4 hours to kill, and I've already been Akihabara for the whole day, so there's like nothing for me to do. So I went home for a bit and I came out again. And yeah, by the time I got there, it was like 10:45, almost 11, and there was like so many people lining up. I was surprised like so many people could like actually fit in there. But yeah, once we get in, there's no videos allowed. But they did say like when the event starts you could take photos, so that's what I did. If you want like the full experience, I would suggest just watching the YouTube video on the official VSPO channel. It sounds like very heartwarming to see so many fans with similar, I guess, hobby together in the middle of the night trying to count down. But they did like, I think the host this year was Uruha and Toto-chan. And yeah, they did like a 15-minute host, and then they played like 5 new MVs, or they announced 5 new MVs. And we got to watch them all live together. Everyone's just like crazy, everyone's just cheering their hearts out. And it was just a very fun time. And at the end, when everything ended, they did the countdown counter thing with each of the members. And then after it finishes, they had like the Happy New Year and all that, and it went dark. A few seconds later, it's special announcement slide or video, and it's basically announcing like the upcoming VSPO event that's happening in March. I think it's like a Rage esports event or something. But I think they had this last year as well. But yeah, after that, the event's over, everyone dispersed, and yeah, we just head home. I'm pretty sure the videos in the countdown event was also pre-recorded. So yeah, everything today was pre-recorded. Because it was like New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, the train actually ran for like a couple more hours than usual, so it wasn't like much trouble to get home. Usually by like 12:30 you don't have like a train to go home anymore, so you might have to like stay out and look for somewhere to just, I don't know, camp the night in like a manga cafe karaoke place. But yeah, it was very nice that because it's New Year's Eve, everything was open until pretty late. I think if you get an opportunity to attend these, I would highly suggest it. But personally, I'm an introvert, so I didn't really enjoy these kind of events. I'm not like a party person, but you know, I thought, hey, I got the ticket, might as well just experience it before I regret it, you know? So I went and yeah, had a good time, but I don't think I will go again next year. Also, it didn't help because my stomach was like hurting like half the time. It might have been from all the oil from the ramen, but yeah, it was pretty brutal for me. Thank you for watching. Sorry this video came out like way past New Year, but since there were a lot of events happening within the short period of time, I just didn't have enough time to make this video earlier. This was a really packed day, and if you're a VSPO fan, it's like heaven. Just seeing so many people walk around in their VSPO Oshi gear, as well as seeing like people carrying the VSPO shopper bag, along with all the VSPO decorations that's all throughout the town. It's just like a really cool sight to see. Maybe they'll do this again next year, but we'll see what they have planned. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, I do Hololive and VSPO related videos such as event vlogs like this one, as well as goods unboxing and event overviews on this channel. Look around the playlist that I've created and pick and choose what interests you. I also greatly appreciate your support if you could hit the subscribe button. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.